Okay, today we're going to be going over 5 ways to lower your MER. So this might be something that you guys are struggling with. We're going to try and use the graduated scaling method to explain these 5 different points today. And hopefully, within 10 minutes here, you guys get some decent value in terms of, quick tips and next steps in terms of lowering your MER. So I'm going to walk you through some of the root causes, the solutions, and some of the questions that you should be asking yourself in this video. The first thing is, and this might be obvious to some of you, but to a lot of people, this is not obvious. Lower your media spend. Okay, so if you're in a situation where you have, you're overspending, your CFO needs more budget, and you need to be more profitable in the short term, the easiest thing to do is to lower your media spend. What's going to happen is that as you lower your media spend, your ROAS naturally is going to go up, right? So the less you're spending, the higher your ROAS is going to be. So let's say you're spending $200K a month and you lower your budget by 50% or by 40%. Yes, this will have an impact on your top line revenue, but you should see a larger increase in your ROAS and a higher profitability, even though you're going to get less orders overall, right? So it depends. Every organization is different in terms of their inventory and production and all of that. But this is a quick fix in terms of, okay, we need to get our MER down quickly, lower the media spend, right? And I would say this usually works in most cases. But there are, some cases where it may not be quite a perfect fix, right? This is a short-term fix. This will give us some cash flow, and then we need to look at other areas to address the MER. But lower your media spend first. That's the easiest solution in the short term, especially for brands that are spending a lot on their warm audiences. Maybe you're spending, some brands are spending 20 to 30% on the warm audiences. This is likely way too much. You should be spending 10% or less generally. So if you're spending a lot on your warm audiences, this will work even better. So lower your media spend is going to help a lot in terms of your MER. And then number 2 is improving your offer. So this can actually be done really quickly. It can be done with creating seasonal urgency for buyers. So think about, what time of the year is it? Is it, for example, the spring or beginning of summer? Are people looking for, new pieces of apparel or footwear because, they're transitioning from one season into the next? This is an opportunity to create urgency without having to discount. But if you want to use a discount, of course, you can do that as well. It works even better. We don't want to, discount too heavily, but we want to make sure that our promotions are aligned with the buying behaviors of the consumer. So generally for the beginning of the season, what we like to do is not have a discount and just create urgency based on the fact that, if you're the first customer, you can make sure you get what you want, get your size, your color, make sure that everything's in stock, right? There's going to be a lot of natural urgency at the beginning of the season when you launch a new collection. And then towards the end of the season, you probably want to be doing some end of season promotions to try and move some of that leftover inventory. And also, there's natural promotions throughout the year, Christmas, Black Friday, etc. So we want to make sure that there's significant urgency with our offer. And we have to also look at the value equation of our product. So, how strong is our features, our style, function, price point. And so in our graduated scaling method model, you can see perceived value, price versus quality, exclusivity, style, product features and functions. All of those things, combine to create the perceived value. Also, your positioning creates a lot of value. So, how are we messaging our advertising? That's going to have a big impact as well. So improve your offer. That's, and if you're in a situation where you're completely certain that your offer is dialed in, then maybe we need to look elsewhere. But this is where you can have one of the biggest impacts on your MERs just by improving that offer. This is more of a quick win here. So AI-powered audiences. So we see a ton of success with these. Let us know in the comments if you guys have tried this or if you've had success with it. The steps are pretty simple. Basically, you want to take your audience from like your Shopify account, download all of your past orders, use that customer list, upload it. You can find a bunch of these tools online. Just look for AI-powered audiences or audience enrichment. And basically, what you're going to do is you're going to upload your list, enrich it with a bunch of data. There's going to be several options available to you. One of the things that we like to use is high net worth credit card holders. So you've got your Shopify audience now enriched with that additional data that Meta doesn't normally have access to. Then you're going to upload it into Meta. And then you're going to create a 1 to 5% stack lookalike. We find that because you've got better data, if the audience is big enough, we can generally create a much larger lookalike that has a ton of success. So we, can bring a campaign from like a 2.5x ROAS to a 6x ROAS just by doing this. And so, Don't assume that Meta has it right. I know that Meta has an incredible algorithm. It does a lot of things really well, but your audience could in fact be better in a lot of cases. So this might be something you want to try if you haven't tried it before. Another way to boost or reduce your MER is by increasing your ROAS through templated dynamic product ad creative. So, if you're an apparel or footwear brand and you're using dynamic creatives or dynamic product ads, and you're just using those boring white backgrounds, use something that is more interesting. A lot of people actually don't know that you can use different images by using a data feed management tool. And you can create these with like AI templates. Basically, you can upload lifestyle images. What we like to do is overlays with social proof. So for example, you've got a side shot of your shoe, and then you're going to say something like, 1,000 5-star reviews underneath it. Use the social proof to increase your conversion rates. And with apparel and footwear, we noticed that showing multiple sides of the product works really well. So if you've got a creative, not just of the front face, but show the back and show the different sides of it as well, that actually really helps to boost your conversion rate, and that in turn will increase your ROAS, which is going to help bring your MER down. Okay. And the other thing is horizontal scaling. So if you're focusing on just like one campaign that's winning for you, try to diversify. Again, if you lower your budget on those winning campaigns, your ROAS should go up naturally. And then if you spread that out over other channels, as long as those other channels are working for you, if you have like a total crappy campaign on another channel, that's obviously not going to make sense to invest in that. But if you have other channels where you can get well-performing campaigns and you split that campaign budget across the different channels, you're going to end up having a higher ROAS overall and higher acquisition than if you have it just in one single campaign. Because if you vertically increase the budget on that campaign and try to vertically scale that, your ROAS is going to go down, your MER is going to go up, your acquisition costs are going to go up. So you got to be careful with increasing your budgets on those campaigns. There is a caveat to this. If you have a cold prospecting campaign with a ROAS, say over 5x, that's doing really well for you in Meta, you might want to just keep scaling that vertically until you're finding, okay, my ROAS is dropping and now it's losing profitability, and you find kind of that break point. But if that's not the case for you, try spreading out over other channels before you do that. And if a single channel is working really well for you, try launching additional campaigns to for alternate products to the same or similar audiences, and those may perform very well alongside your existing campaigns, right? So try that method as well, having more campaigns. Obviously, we want to have a certain level of a budget to do that, because that with a small account is going to be very inefficient. You don't want to have like 5-10 campaigns. You would rather have one consolidated campaign in that case. But as your budget grows and you're looking for ways to expand, and you don't want to keep investing in that one campaign and bring the ROAS down, you can spread this out over multiple campaigns. So consider that as an additional tactic to bring your MER down. And if you guys have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to answer them.